Child, you ain't got no lashes on. This show look different. Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with the review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Season 1, Episode 9. I think next week is the finale, you guys. Thank God for small favors. Anyway, the review. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so the show starts, where it ended last week, which was with Brandon and Mick Anthony arguing on the beach. Remember, the girls went out on the boat, the speed boat, and they seem to be having a pretty good time out there. The men, we can't say the same. Brandon and Mick Anthony are arguing over, well, Brandon feels like Mick Anthony has had a target on his back the whole time. Mick Anthony wants Brandon to understand that he doesn't want anything from him. He all up in his face. Brandon's like, hey, bag. Okay, you all up in my face. If I can smell your breath, you too close. That's not always the case. Some people's breath carries, but I know what Brandon means. Mick Anthony was up in his face, okay? Mick Anthony was doing too much. Mick Anthony is just trying to get him to understand that he wants him to win. He wants everything for him. He don't have no ill will towards Brandon. He wants everything good for Brandon. He just needs Brandon to understand that. Brandon was like, okay, well, I guess I'll have to think about it, see, if I really do believe it. I guess Mick Anthony would like that same consideration from Brandon. Again, he'll think about it and see what he can do. So yeah, shit was kind of tense. Okay, when the ladies got back, they was all like, "Hey, babe." They was like, "What y'all talking about? Y'all having a good talk?" I was like, if you consider arguing for the last 30 minutes a good talk, then I guess that's what they did, because Mick Anthony and Brandon, still ain't seeing eye to eye. Now, later on, we see Brandon and Christina, and they're talking about, what happened on the boat, and getting ready for their last night there out in Traverse City. So he tells her how him and Mick Anthony still couldn't quite get it together. And she was like, again? Well, it's not even again. It's just ongoing. It's not like it ever stopped. How was the boat? Brandon asked Christina. She says, well, it was cool. It was nice. I made it a point to sit next to LaToya, just trying to break the ice, trying to just really see, get her to see that there's nothing bad about me that she should be concerned about. Says LaToya's cool, but it's still kind of weird. Well, that's about the same with Brandon and Mick Anthony. Okay, maybe it runs in the family. So anyway, Brandon tells her about Mick Anthony telling him that Larique is going to be in the showcase, and she was like, "Oh, really?" The way that she said that, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Oh, Larique and Christina have some history." I already kind of had thought so back when Larique had that slick shit to say. And now the way that she reacted, kind of like it was almost like she wanted to laugh a little bit, She tells us that she's known Larique a long time. They go way back, before she even met Brandon. Again, I feel like there's definitely some history there. But she said that things got weird in their, whatever it was that they had. Apparently, the way that they're saying without saying is that Christina and Larique was working together. She said she knows him as Sean. Okay, she knows the real government, y'all. Larique is just his stage name, I guess. So anyway, she said that but it sounds like he was her producer, they were working together or whatever, and then he started catching feelings, and either she had feelings too and then it didn't work out, or she never had feelings and it didn't work out. Whichever way it went, her and of course Larique aren't together, but Larique is still kind of salty. So when she kept saying your boy, when men say your boy like that, that means that they already know that you guys had something. I don't know why they don't just come out and say it. Some shit they throw in our face and other stuff, it's like pulling teeth. So with all that being said, Brandon don't feel like anything has gotten resolved between him and Mick Anthony. definitely nothing's resolved between Christina and Latoya. So we'll see, maybe at dinner. So it's the last night. We gonna give Reverend Russell the night off. Hey, let me ask you, what's going on with Rev Russell? We ain't seen him too often these last few episodes. I feel like there's been a shift somewhere, and that they're trying to concentrate mostly on the other two couples, and they have completely kind of stopped talking about Russell and Colby. And I got an eyebrow. I'm wondering why. What's this about? Okay, not that I should be concerned. I mean, it's not like they've, it's a pattern or anything, but it's just strange that it ain't really nothing going on. It feels like they threw Colby and Russell in that mix with what McAnthony was saying, just so they could have a storyline or be involved in some kind of way, because they really feel separate from everything. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So yeah, we're gonna have a chef. The chef is gonna cook. That's a beef reduction on top of the rice, and we've have a gourmet truffled sweet potato. I was like, do you know what you made, sir? He was so confused. So, they're all going to sit around the table and they're going to talk. And, Latoya, she wants to make sure there's no drama. That's always at the forefront of Latoya's mind. So, we sit down. Christina says that she's brought back the situation box. Okay. And, the situation box is usually not a good thing. Okay. Christina feels like it's a conversation starter. You can just put the questions in there anonymously, and then we'll pull them out and we'll try to resolve it. Nobody's got to say exactly who is the one that said what, but that's what we're going to do. Okay, fine. So they, I guess, write out the questions or whatever, whatnots, and they put it in the box. So these questions are actually truly just general. Okay, how is it that a man makes the wife initiate sex? Okay. Because the men, I'm sure you guys know in real life, men are always wanting to have sex. I don't know if there's ever a time when men, I just don't think they turn down sex. They could be boiling hot and mad at you and they still will have sex. Now, if they ain't having sex with you, then there's a problem there. Okay, because at the very least, men can still whip it up enough to have sex with you, even if they don't really like you. So yeah, if you gotten to the point where you ain't having sex in your relationship no more, I think that's usually the very last thing to go. So yeah, not good. Anyway, so they have a good time there, laughing, talking. It's very generalized and no problems. Rev Russell says that he's gonna tap out here. I guess he's got some studying or something to do, so he's leaving the group. He's gonna go to bed. Okay, the rest of y'all have at it. All right, so that's what they do. The rest of the group, remember, Bravo and his woman is there. Is that his wife, you guys? I don't remember. Show do. Boy, I tell you, no lashes make a difference. So anyway, they all go outside to the bonfire, and even though things have been going very well this night and Latoya's happy, Christina's like, well, maybe now is the perfect time to finally break it to Latoya. So it feels like it's the same conversation that they've had in the past. Maybe it's just because they're not so mad anymore. But, Christina basically says the same thing to Latoya. You always make it seem like I'm the problem. I'm the bad guy. Christina was like, I just want to get it fixed. Otherwise, I'm just going to be totally over it. And I ain't going to want to have nothing to do with Latoya. So Latoya says that she just feels like Christina's not the best at communicating. Okay, the stuff that happened with Colby, why you didn't just pick up the phone and call Colby, the conversations that you and Brandon have had, the arguments that you guys have had in front of us, like, it just seems like, you have a problem communicating. And Christina was like, just like I said, what that got to do with Latoya? Okay, why is Latoya worried about what happened with me and Brandon? Why is Latoya worried about what happened with me and Colby? Well, Latoya is just poor at expressing herself. But what Latoya is saying is that she just don't like the fact that you got to get ignorant in public. Okay, that's all it is. She don't give a fuck about whether or not you call Colby. We were supposed to be, sisterhood. We're supposed to be, women that are together and, communicate, and you just don't do that. Okay, But you gotta be doing all that you saying and doing about Christina. That's why Christina don't see it for Latoya. So Bravo's wife or girlfriend or fiance, friend, whatever she is, she says, listen, even though you guys have had these fights and everything, if you're true friends, then true friends can fight and still be friends at the end of the day. Well, I think the difference here is that we don't know if any of these people are actually real friends. I'm still not clear on how long anybody has known each other. And sometimes when you just put these people together, there is a learning curve. People got to get to know each other. And sometimes people just might not like each other, so there's that. So anyway, Christina don't really see why Latoya's in it like that. Kobe says, listen, I've gotten past whatever issues that was involving me. I've gotten past it. And Christina says, she can get past it too. She ain't got to be sitting up here being mad and everything. So you know what? Let's throw those problems into the bonfire. Okay? Poof, they're gone. Now, we make it back to Detroit and we see McAnthony has decided that he is going to meet Bravo at the local daiquiri factory. They're going to sit down, they're going to talk maybe about the showcases coming up. I said, where's Brandon? Okay. And we're also probably going to talk about some man's movement things that's coming up. And Bravo was like, hey, while I got you here, listen, I know that, the man's movement thing is your thing. I'm not trying to step on any toes or nothing, but, I know this guy. He's a perfect businessman. He has a construction company. He has a wine company. He has a cigar business, a building, a lounge, I should say. He's out there. He is doing the damn thing. Maybe you know him. I was like, I got a feeling we do. Oh, God. Not Marceau, the smartest nigga in the room, Scott. But that's exactly who he's talking about, okay? And, nope, McAnthony doesn't know him, but, no time like the present. Yeah, Marceau is from Detroit as well. He don't live there no more, obviously. He's in Huntsville, but... he comes from the same roots, so we're gonna be good people. So, we see Marceau, he get there, hey, how you doing? He's all business. Oh, he's just, I'm coming in as the esteemed leader of these men that, on the third franchise of Love and Marriage, that still ain't quite got the hang of things. They need somebody to come in and save the day for them. Hey, Marceau, the smartest nigga in the room, is gonna do that for you. You get on my fucking nerves, you guys. So, after we shake hands, big up, bruh, hey, how you doing? All of that. Bravo tells Marceau that he would like for him to be a part of the man's movement too. McAnthony give him a little, kind of tell him exactly what he's trying to do. Well, not exactly, but tells him about the man's movement and all of that. You can just go from the name. You kind of got an idea of what they say they're going to do anyway, or what the mission is, I should say. And then, Marceau, in his Confucius type way, he's like, black men are a victim of propaganda. We're not as wild as they say. We're not bad people. We're not as violent as they think. We're much more thinkers. There's something inside of us, anything is possible if we put our mind to it. Yes, Marceau, gives you the pat answer, uplifting the black man 101. I'm sorry, you guys. I know I'm being flippant, but I'm just Marceau, child. Just Marceau. He brings it out of me. So, of course, McAnthony loves this. He loves this, because it's the same bullshit that he been spitting out at us, just not as in an organized way, So, game recognized game. So, he wants Marceau to come and speak down to the man's movement that he's gonna have, his first one coming up. And Marceau was just like, absolutely, just let me know where and when, what I need to do. You just need to come and talk, okay? The two things that you can do just fine. Now, let's just go on and talk about the man's movement thing that they're having. So we see McAnthony and Latoya. They show up at wherever the venue is going to be. Okay, it's pouring down, raining. And, McAnthony is hoping that they get the turnout that they were expecting, So they going inside and she's looking around. It's just a generic room, no razzmatazz, no razzle dazzle, no nothing. Okay. She was just like, I mean, do you guys have tables, tablecloths, signs, McAnthony. Oh, they was making the sign still, in the back. Nigga, it's the day of. We still making the sign? I mean, I know it still be shit that need to get done even right at the, when the shit is about to start, but the sign? I mean, if we just working on the sign, something wrong. Okay. But okay. She was just like, I am a control freak and I do like things to look a certain way, but this is his thing. So I'm gonna try to back. I was laughing when I was listening to her because I was like, it sounds so much like me. Like my daughter just moved into a new suite for her business. And I just want to get in there and completely decorate the damn suite like how I know it's going to be really, really nice. But of course, me and Jada don't have the same taste and, so I'm trying to let her do what she want to do, but she ain't doing nothing. So I just be like, girl, we need a mirror here. We need to put a sign here. We need to put some pictures up here. We need to put some lights here. We need to... I was just like Roxanne, just let this girl do, but I'm telling you, I want to get in there and do everything. Anyway, getting off track, back to the show. So, she was just like, so how many people you guys having? Are you going to have hundreds? He was like, yeah, I don't know, 100, 200. He don't really know. They've changed the dates a whole bunch of times, so people might be confused on. I mean, the least you could do, you don't have an assistant that can help you reach out to the people through email, through, calls, through social media, get the word out there the best way that you can. Okay. Nope. I guess that's not how we doing things. Okay. We just gonna hope that the people that he told, I say, I mean, at the very least, call your family. Okay. You are living like you in Detroit, you from Detroit. I know you got a lot of family there. Call them damn cousins and aunts and uncles and have them come down and fill up the place. All right. We ain't did that either. So the people start trickling in. And when I say the people, I mean the people on the show, child. We got Brandon, we got Colby, we got Rev Russell, we got Bravo, we got Bravo Woman, I guess. Child, I was just like, where is the mans that we supposed to be moving? Okay. Well, Marceau gets there and, he's, hey, how you doing? Okay. He probably looking around like, ain't nobody here. Okay. It's really not anybody there. And, McAnthony, please don't make me look bad. Oh, you already look that way, sir. Okay. You don't want to look worse, sir. Shout out to Future. Brandon was just like, where everybody at? Okay. He said, it's only about 24 men in here, which would make that 24 men, maybe. Okay. I don't know where these hundreds that McAnthony was talking about, but yeah, 24 maybe. Maybe these are just the ones that really, really need the movement. Okay. So, and LaToya's dad is there. Remember, he's the bishop, so he's going to come and speak. And, well, we got the smartest nigga in the room, so that ought to do it. So, once these 24 men get there, McAnthony, oh, thank God, the men didn't let him down. I was just like, 24, huh? Okay. I mean, the Lord said where there's one gathered. So anyway, Bishop get up there and say, whatever his regular, he had to pull out his pat sermon that he gives, when he ain't really in it like that. And then we get Marceau up there. Marceau going and throw out his wisdom to y'all, and that's that. And McAnthony, like I said, even though he didn't have the hundreds and hundreds of people there, he feel like he actually touched these 24 more so than he would have done the masses. So it's all good, y'all. It's all good. Oh, okay, if you say so, McAnthony. Okay. So anyway, after we finish that, the conversations, the talk and all, we're gonna have a march. Now, listen, I didn't even expect a whole lot from the march. I figured it was 24, counting everybody, let's say 30 people or whatever. And we gonna just do a cute little march in the neighborhood or whatever, get some signs, some bull horns, maybe get a couple of toots of the horns of people driving by, some people come out to business, going and give them a little cup of water to help them out or something. They go on this walk, and baby, we ain't got a sign, we ain't got a bullhorn, we ain't got a little air horn, we ain't got nothing. I was just like, y'all couldn't even act like you was doing something? Okay, where was the signs? They so busy making signs for the damn man's movement. like Brandon said, there is no man's to move. There is no movement. He don't understand none of this, right? And of course we know that Brandon is putting 20 on 10 because man's movement, we know what they're trying to do, is just that it hasn't been done. Okay, so this is his way of pointing out the fact that it hasn't been done. So after they walk around the blocks a few times or whatever, and Marceau was like, well, this definitely was a workout. But, I think that the man's movement, here he go again. Marceau, wrap it up. Okay, wrap it up. Yeah, Marceau said we're going to take it to the next level. And, McAnthony is all for that. Brandon's still saying he don't understand. Colby says that she understands. It was very clear on the paper. First of all, you ain't a man. You ain't in the man's movement. Okay, anybody gave a fuck what you understand. All right. Brandon said he don't understand. Brandon understands. It just hasn't been done. Okay, McAnthony is one of those ones that's just gonna keep on talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and playing and talking and talking and playing. Shout out to Hollywood Jen. You guys follow him. He is hilarious to me. But anyway, Brandon's being difficult, pointing out that McAnthony ain't done nothing other than just reading his mission statement. We could have did that at the house and kept our hair from getting frizzed up out here in this rain. And McAnthony says, oh, you know what, Colby, don't worry about it. He ain't even studying Brandon. He immature, okay? Because he know he did the damn thing with these 24 people down at the man's movement. We had Marceau, smartest nigga in the room, Scott there, So, what else could you ask for? Now, you guys, I saved this part with Brandon for last because I actually thought that this was maybe the only genuine, interesting story that was on the show. So it's Brandon's birthday, and he has decided that he wants to visit his mom for his birthday. Now, we've already heard a little bit from Christina about his relationship with his mother and how the mom didn't really discipline him and let him do what he want, and that's the reason why Brandon is so kind of hands-off, so kind of unsure, so kind of not the provider, not the type that she would want as a husband because of what he saw as a child. So we're hoping that he's hoping that, he can try to open that door, the relationship that him and his mom have. He says that they have very much a high and by relationship, which is actually kind of sad. But I think a lot of people are that way in their relationships with their parents or with their kids because you just trying to keep the peace. You ain't trying to get into no confrontations. And so it becomes a very aloof and very just blah kind of surface, no kind of connection type of relationship. So he's hoping that, maybe him coming over, they need to talk more, communicate more, maybe that'll help him in his marriage, even though it's hard when you've gotten to be in your 30s and you're still the way that you were as a child. Some things is hardwired in us, and so it's going to be difficult for Brandon. I guess the fact that he acknowledges it, maybe, that's the first step to changing things. So he sits down with the white mom, and so there's a lot of dynamics that's working there. The mom seems pleasant enough, okay? And pretty much like he said, she's very kind of just like a high and by, she ain't trying to really be too challenging or anything else to Brandon, So he was telling her how hard it was growing up in the hood with a white mom. She was like, yeah, it was very difficult being that white mom in the hood as well. So, give mama a little bit of grace on this. Okay. He didn't have a relationship with the dad. Then the dad died until he got older. And then when he got older, then his dad died. So his representation of watching a man in his life is not the best either. So he tells his mom that he would like for them to go to counseling. And the mom was just like, mean, I guess I'll go. I just don't want it to feel like a chore. Okay. She doesn't want it to feel like, it's a job, that's something that she hates to do. She doesn't mind going to talk to the counselor if it doesn't feel like it's, because mom say everything fine to her. She don't understand why Brandon feel the way that he feels. When people feel so totally opposite about a same situation, you know that the communication there is completely kaput. Okay, so it's interesting that the mom don't see any problems in their relationship. But she says she'll go to the counseling, and so, I mean, that's all you can hope for, right? And Brandon is a little nervous about it, but he thinks that it's going to, he said that he's terrified, but he thinks that this is going to help. So later on we see them, and they're going to be meeting with the therapist. So, Brandon is at home with Christina. Christina thinks that this is a great step, a great start for the two of them as well. So mom, Kathy, shows up, and then shortly after Kathy, then the counselor shows up. So let's get to work. So the counselor's like, well, I just need to know a little bit about you guys' relationship. Like, how did we get to this point? And Brandon was just like, well, our relationship is just super casual. It's just a high and by kind of relationship. The way that she was with him is now the way that he is in his marriage. And he realizes that it's a problem, or at least his wife has brought it to his attention. Okay. And so why is it like that, Mom? Kathy says, well, she tried. She did try when he was little. She would try to talk to him, and he didn't want to be bothered. He didn't want to say anything. He didn't have any conversations or whatever. And he would just turn his back to her and put his thumb in his mouth. And Brandon was just like, oh, put my thumb in my mouth. Like, how old was I? Okay. This was like the most eye-opening part of the show. And she said maybe about 8. And he was like, so you stopped trying at 8? Yeah, I understand that would be frustrating for a parent or something, but that don't mean just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna let him do what the hell he want to do from here on, and I'm not even gonna ask him or try to engage anymore, because that's just what he did. It just sort of was like clear that the mom was like, okay, I tried once, I'm done. You do whatever you want to do, just stay out of my hair. Okay. And she didn't seem to see it that way, but it's clear that Brandon sees it that way. And I can understand why that would make him feel like, yeah, my mom don't really care like that, like that. So when he, when she said that, the counselor asked him, how did that make him feel? And he is like, it actually makes me feel like, she could take it or leave it. Like, she would be fine if I was here, or wasn't here. And it actually was a little, y'all know, rocky in her heartstrings, child. I felt bad for him when he said that, because I think that even with all the shit that happens with us, like, when you really get to like the meat of what the problem is, like, and if you being truthful, I think that Brandon was being truthful in that moment. And when you feel like your mom, it seemed like your mom of all people should be that one person that you feel like is going to be in your corner and always have your back. And if you don't feel like that about your mom, then that is a sad thing. That means that the mom somewhere ain't did their job, usually. Now, there are some moms that's just fucked up and crazy, and I do realize that. And there are just some truly bad parents out there. So I'm not saying that about all mothers, because, but I do think that the mom, the way that she handled Brandon, this might be her first time realizing that she's turned out a son that maybe she would not have wanted to be the one rearing and bringing up to become this person that he's become, So anyway, he did get a little emotional when he said that. And that's where they ended the show. So I guess we'll see next week, how that session went. But baby, they got right to the emotions like right away, didn't they? I wasn't mad. Maybe we can get to the bottom of it for Brandon. All right, you guys, that is it. Let me get on off of here, get this edited, and up to you guys. Make sure that you thumbs up the video, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. So next time, rock stars, goodbye.